Why, hello, you beautiful soul. Happy portal day. Now, it's all about manifestation. 3-3 is one of those master builder numbers. It's in order for us to fully be in our highest alignment. Now, when we look at the opportunity that this day holds numerologically, we can see that 2024 is a year of 8, also manifestation. This 3-3 day, that mirroring, we can add it up to 6, we can look at it 33 regardless. On these days when the numbers mirror each other, it serves as an opportunity for change, for transformation, for us to step into the fullest and highest timeline in which we seek, and not in the sense of, like a multiverse, things playing out on all those multiple levels at once, not fully, in at least my understanding, what goes down in this reality. Ultimately, we have this one opportunity, this one chance, and we have an infinite array of choices to make. But we're only rendering this reality right now. Our wavelength is only affixed to this frequency of Earth. Now, ultimately, these past few months have been pushing all of us towards, I would say, a pretty straightforward path where we need to walk. And it's been done through a humbling. A lot of us have been going through serious strain and tensions and chaos and wild happenings. But ultimately, everything is to test our faith, to test our trust, to see if we're still willing and courageous enough to let go of all of the hows, the doubts, the fears, the whys, and ultimately to put ourselves into a greater position to receive life's abundance, to step into our fullest power, to allow all of our abilities and powers to come online. And the thing about this is that these are latent things within us that have just been waiting to be released. But ultimately, as life operates, we're not ever going to be given permission to step into a greater field, a greater realm, a greater shell, level up, whatever you want to look at it as. We're not able to step into that new playground unless we're going to be able to carry out all those upgrades safely for ourselves, for those around us, ultimately, for our soul. Life doesn't operate in that way, in which it gives us things in which we can't handle. So that's the cool thing here, is everyone's journey today is going to be a little different depending on where you're at. But ultimately, this meditation is going to serve as an anchor for the energies today. It'll serve as a portal for you to step into, that threshold for you to walk across, to enter in that fullest expression of you. Yeah. So go ahead and get your last few wiggles out. Get a big good stretch if you need to. We'll take a nice deep breath in to regulate together. And release the big exhale, relaxing the jaw. And we'll begin. When you hear the first 3 taps of the singing bowl, ensure you draw a deep breath with every sound of the bowl as it rings. And with your exhale, transmute your breath into a mighty and powerful Om. As you chant that A note, closing the mouth, the U and the M will form naturally. Release the body of breath here. Now is the time to take a seat back within the cinema of the mind, to observe everything arising externally and internally at a distance, just as if you were a dog or a cat looking at birds and squirrels through a window. Simply witness and know that all is being witnessed by you, the silent observer. And this witness, and this silent watcher, this knower, is what life has been pressing and pushing us towards to intimately know. So let go of all identifications and simply rest within yourself. When you hear this final tap of the singing bowl, again, take a deep breath when you hear that bowl ring. And instead shift the focus and attention towards the sound of the ringing. And as it fades into silence, so too, shift that attention towards the quiet, the calm, the stillness. And this divine film we call life is ever unfolding and bringing us closer to these points of tension, these climatic points within our own films. We have already entered into a new storyline, a new book. Yet in these early chapters, as we bring ourselves closer to the astrological new year, it is a shaking out, that final dusting, that clearing of the old so the new can replace it. So look within your heart, the many themes and patterns and obvious and not so obvious points life has been pressing you towards. A gentle jostle, a slight push. Yet in many of our experiences, the throw down the stairs. For it's with urgency that our teams, that our spirit guides, that our ancestors, our teachers, our angels are all eagerly watching us beyond the veil, encouraging us and cheering us on to take these final initiations, these final steps towards us fully living our embodiment of that divine spark in which we are created to be and shine forth. Remember, you are a god and goddess of manifestation, of creation. So how has life been encouraging you to build, to create? Yet in many of our cases, to destroy, to let die away. For just as we represent the embodiments of the masculine and feminine energies, so too we must come to understand what it means to wield such forces within us. For with creation in all forms comes with a birth and a death. That manifestation, that creation, that destruction, that falling away. And just as the monkey swings from vine to vine, it must let go of the old vine in order to step and grasp onto the new, to move forward. If not, it will swing and often fall. That aspect of life's natural inertia, these spiraling patterns, these cyclic cycles that have encouraged us along the way are coming to their end. And a new path, one unforged, one unknown. That true testament to this great mystery lies before us all. For we're the generations that came here to pivot the energies of the collective. So what is it that life is calling forth from you to step into? What is life calling forth that you let go? Look within your own experience. Again, those many cycles, those themes, those subtle and not so subtle signs that Spirit has been guiding you towards. And ultimately, these challenges and obstacles can be traced back to their source itself. Where are you still refusing to receive the Creator's love? And where are you refusing to give it? What is the call forth for your relationship with your service? That gift in which you will give the world. You. When it comes down to it, we cannot comprehend the path and storyline that the Creator has for us. But we all know what it feels like when we are so-called in the pocket, when we are living in alignment. For the flow is effortless and easeful. The dance is to our fullest. But where are you still holding yourself back? What many fruits is life trying to gift you that you are refusing to eat? Where are the avenues of the imagination that still doubt, that still fear, that still have tension? And ultimately, why are you refusing to trust, to love, to live? No one outside of you knows the answer but you. For is this not a game of me, myself, and I? Yet that understanding of self can still be intimate with the Creator, with Source, and with your soul. But that distinction solely relies on your relationship with your path. Is yours one a service to self or a service to Source? For the horse, for the body, for the ego, the mind, the emotions, the sensations of the form, it matters not what you call them. It will always be geared towards service to self. But the soul, the essence of our beingness, its foundation is based upon the One, and it deeply yearns to serve it. Serve through and serve for the Creator. That is what we all come here for. To bring ourselves into a deeper and more intimate connection with that in which made us, our primordial parent. And the more we let go to give and to receive that love, the more we find ourselves living out the fullest of our experience. stepping into our power, our embodied perfection. And although it's a journey that is ever growing and unfolding, it is the least chaotic, the most abundant, the most love and light filled, and truly where we find the beauty in all experiences we've lived through. So what's holding you back? What is life calling forth for you to let go? What is life encouraging you to step into? Build that vision now. That you, months, years, maybe even weeks and days from. What is it you seek to manifest and build? What is it that you are on the path to creating already? Take a moment to turn that into a statement, a proclamation, one done in present tense. For example, I am filled with so much abundance in my life that I'm shining forth that fullest expression effortlessly and easily. Begin to build whatever it is around your proclamation, your statement, internally or externally, with the emotions, what that feels like. When you feel the abundance, you feel the security, the safety. When you feel that fullest expression of yourself, you feel electric, vitalized. That easeful and effortlessness is from the stillness, from the quiet, the calm, yet is coated with a playfulness, as if we just got out and released for recess. For that mantra, that statement, that proclamation serves as that initial vortex for energy to flow through, and your emotional energy, that radiant light stemming from you, serves as that pull, drawing in more and more energy. So begin to crystallize this ethereal energy with the vision, with the mind's eye, building your creation. Is it physical changes you're seeking? Is it emotional, mental, spiritual? It matters not. Give them shape, give them color, give them depth, detail, shadow, highlights, and illuminate them within your beingness now. And it's here in this manifestation, you be as detailed as possible. Allowing yourself to feel those emotions radiating from the heart space. And if not, ensuring you have a big smile on your face. For those energies of love, of happiness, of joy, of excitement. They dispel all shadow, all darkness. And the importance to come into mastering this practice, into taking those conscious and aware action steps towards its fulfillment, is one of our greatest roles, yet opportunities to see just how powerful we are becoming. Your ability to focus and remain refined, one-pointed in this vision, in this aspiration, will truly build that bridge to bring its manifestation to its fulfillment in this land. For this realm is what we appear to see as physical, but it operates energetically, spiritually first, in the intangible. All things arise through sound, frequency, vibration. So you must use that knowing in order to build out that in which you seek into this physicality. But ultimately, as life operates, there is causal forces and there is effects. There are stones tossed into the still pond of the ether and the ripples and wakes it creates. So looking within your own experience now, what is still holding you back? What is being held on to? A belief of the mind, a pain of the heart, a physical attachment, or a spiritual stubbornness. It may not be one. It may be more and multiple or all. But the invitation now is to let go. To drop all things that don't serve you. To really fully lean in to the magic. And as all things go, in order to experience, we must first entertain it. Can a child be fed by their parent if they refuse to open their mouth? What ways and operations of the old are you still chewing on? For the Creator is telling you and asking to spit it out. When it comes down to it, we are all but children of the Creator. So those resistances, those walls, those self-imposed limitations, all trace back to those early wounds, those initiatory scarrings in which we received to propel us and catalyze us along this path of spiritual unfoldment. But the time is now to let go, to lean in, and to embrace what life is presenting us for the life that we are being granted is so cinematic and beautiful. It puts us into a realm of disbelief. When we open ourselves up to the magic and whimsical nature of life's flow, it will provide us just that. A beautiful dance. But as the soundtrack of your life, your thoughts and imagination, impulses, or as the soundtrack of your heart, spirit, intuition, knowing, ceremony. With all things, look first at the gunas, dullness, passion, and goodness. For they will be your guide to avoid the realms of self-righteousness, of self-absorption, and inaction. Reflect, 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 look back. Review all the experiences that you currently know. Rewatch your life with these new unfoldments and understandings to come into a deeper and greater acceptance that all truly has been building you up for these pivotal moments and initiations in which we are stepping into. Yet a single door remains of the heart for many. Trust. So step through it with love and courage and grace, and leave all doubts, all worries and fears of the how behind you. For that old version of self is no longer. When you hear the next tap of the singing bowl, again, transmute that breath into a mighty and powerful one. With that gentle smile on your face, and that warmth and love in your heart, radiate that fullest manifestation which you seek for yourself, that life is guiding you towards. And use that Om as a proclamation to fully receive and give the love of the Creator. Release the body of breath here. Namaste. I bow to the divine within you. Thank you so much for joining this morning. I guess one thing that keeps coming up is to take some time in contemplation. And I suppose I don't mean that as an active form of, sitting and thinking and chewing and stewing and ruminating, but to give yourself a chance to simply rest within yourself and see what comes up. If you haven't checked out my Instagram, it's somewhere down there in the description, but we just wrapped up a 30-day deep dive into the divine and sacred masculine energies, for all those divine dudes out there, because there's been a call for that in my own life personally. But what it's revealed in this greater sense is just how much that masculine energy is important for us to harness and master in this embodiment, because it is the force and energy that creates a container. And ultimately, when we sit in contemplation, we are creating a container for our own body to express its feminine energies through. Now, unfortunately, most people are identified with the mind. So when this space is being held for yourself and the thoughts just kind of just rush out and it's just mind chatter all the time, people get caught up in that. They beat themselves up. Oh, I'm not having a quiet mind. The mind is not your job to quiet. It was the result of you remaining present. Because ultimately, the body is the child that never gets a voice. And unfortunately, a lot of us, especially in this path, kind of grew up like that. We didn't really have a voice or a say, or our opinion or our perspective wasn't valued. So often not, we stayed quiet. And in this realm, our imagination became our best friend. It became our first consolation, our first consoler. So it's time that most of us are getting called to do that for the body in many ways, shapes, and forms. So sit in contemplation. A lot came up in this meditation, but a lot will come up for your beingness itself. And when you can create that container for your body to finally speak its side of the story. And it's here we have to understand that the masculine energy in our life, how the role of the father is from, Western medicine to Eastern medicine, it's to bestow wisdom and to help prepare, the child enter into new stages of life and experiencing. It's the same thing spiritually. Our physical containers that we allow ourselves provide the opportunity for lessons to be learned for the soul. Our body is the masculine representation of our duality. And it's protecting us all the time. It's protecting the soul. It's compartmentalizing certain aspects to keep the soul on a straight and narrow path to healing. So once that seed of spirit is birthed and can come out through the ground and starts to really flourish and thrive and seek its own understanding of self, that's when we can heal the body fully. So it's all about holding space for yourself. And that would be my biggest pointer towards today, and really capitalizing on this 3-3 portal day. Because there is, I don't want to, be like a fear monger or anything, but there is little time for many to step into these next unfoldments with grace. And I say that specifically with grace, because although we're all stepping into them, and we will, whether it be this life or the next, or years from now, there's a really juicy window of opportunity to, it's like double dutch, to just jump into this new wave and like transition without getting whipped. So it's just what your soul needs, I guess, but yeah, there's a lot that's been, I would say, processing, and almost at a point of being able to really articulate and express things fully. But the one thing that really keeps standing out is harness the energies within yourself. Harness the energies fully within yourself. Our masculine energies are going to operate antagonistically during these times. They're going to challenge us and test us, but know that they're intended to. They're going to pull at the heartstrings because they're trying to still show the soul, hey, that's a blind spot. Protect yourself. And the more that I sit back in this divine masculine and feminine embodiment like process, it's been so beautiful to see how it's been playing out in the spiritual path and how it's always been playing out. It's definitely something that I encourage all to sit with. So with that, may the fruit of all knowledge offer a seed, and in that seed may our love, will, and intuition give life and nourishment, for a tree shall grow, and in its shade may you find peace, and offer peace to all whom ask. Emphasis on that all who ask. This time in which we're stepping into is going to be turbulent, but it'll be smooth sailing for all of those who understand the mechanics of free will. Those that are going to be curious in the changes and unfoldments in which you are going through and living out will be curious and ask you the hows, the whys, the whats. And for all those who don't, do not force it upon them. And that's all that's coming through. Other than that, I love you so much. Have a great day. Peace. I love you.